Who do you look at around the league as you're studying and say, we're going to have to run through them?
Celtics.
No one in the West.
Nah, I'm fine in the West.
Remember those words, ladies and gentlemen. I'm fine in the West. Those words right there is about to haunt Ja Morant for the rest of this season. Now, if you haven't been keeping up with the NBA recently, what are you even doing? I mean, we just had one of the greatest trade deadline days in history. It was crazy. And obviously one of the biggest trades we had was KD to the Suns. Of all teams, the Suns. That is crazy. And the even crazier part is that they kept CP, they kept Booker, they kept Ayton. That is insane. But the Mavericks also made some great moves, and they picked up Kyrie Irving, and now you have this crazy offensive duo of Kyrie and Luka, which is very tough to stop. And then the Lakers made a pretty decent move by trading for D'Lo, Jared Vanderbilt, and Malik Beasley, which could possibly give them a chance at a late playoff push, especially in the Western Conference when all the teams are very close together. But what do all these teams have in common? You guessed it, they're all in the Western Conference. And what did Ja say? I'm fine in the West. So let's take a deeper dive and see if Ja really is fine in the West. So let's begin by looking at the overall Memphis Grizzlies team record as of right now. Currently, they're standing at 33 wins and 21 losses, which is a 61% win percentage. It's a record good enough to give them the second spot in the West. But remember, he was saying that he was fine in the West. So we're not just going to look at the overall record that the Grizzlies have right now, we're going to look more at the conference record that they have. And what may that be? Well, it's 15 and 16. They actually have a negative record in the West. But that's really strange because I thought Ja said that he was fine in the West. But don't worry guys, I'm not stopping there. I'm going to actually look more into these wins that they had in their conference record. So after I looked through, I found out that the Grizzlies beat the Spurs 3 times, they beat the Rockets once, they beat the Thunder twice, they beat the Trailblazers without Lillard once, and they beat the Timberwolves once. So about 8 of their 15 wins in the Western Conference came from bad teams. That's over half of the wins that they have in the Western Conference, which is ridiculous. They're fakes. So now let's look at the amount of losses they had. They had 16 losses, right? And let's take a look at the teams that they lost to. The most notorious being the Golden State Warriors. As we know, the Grizzlies have matched up with the Golden State Warriors twice this season. And guess what happened? They lost both times. And let me mention that the first time they didn't even have Andrew Wiggins, and the second time they didn't have Steph Curry and Andrew Wiggins, and they got blown out by even more than the first time. How is that even possible? They also have multiple losses against the Suns, multiple losses against the Kings, a loss against the Nuggets, a loss by 41 points to the Dallas Mavericks. Now I'm starting to sense a pattern here. It seems that most of their wins come from beating bad teams, and then a lot of their losses come from playing good teams or possible title contending teams. And the crazy part is, a lot of those teams just got even stronger, and the Grizzlies didn't really do anything in this trade deadline days, so I'm not sure how they are still fine in the West. It's almost like all these Western Conference teams decided to just screw around with Ja Morant because he said that, because maybe they took it as a sign of disrespect or something, and they just started loading super teams all up in the West. It's kind of funny. But they better be careful messing around with Hood Ja Morant. He's about to get his gang friends to point the laser dot sights at all of their chests. If you guys didn't follow that, basically a few weeks ago there was this incident after a Pacers game when Ja Morant was riding in a car with his friends and they kind of pointed the laser at the Pacers team members. Yeah, I just thought it was too funny. This whole fake persona of a hard, tough guy that Ja Morant puts out there is just ridiculous. I don't even get why he does it. I mean, Shannon Sharp said it the best. He got a $200 million contract and he wants everyone in the NBA to think he's hood. Like, why? But I guess that's another problem for another video. But that's going to do it for this video, so make sure you guys comment down below. Do you guys think that the Grizzlies are actually fine in the West? Or now that all these trades happen, do you think the Grizzlies are about to just get out in the first round? And as always, make sure you hit subscribe if you enjoyed the video and leave a like on it. I really appreciate it. And yeah, I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.